Hello, Akko here again. Welcome to episode 24.1, another bee supplemental episode. The bees went really well yesterday. I put these frames in, the impregnated frames, and as I said at the end of the last bee episode, I probably would be better off just using a couple of the Oblivion frames up. So I did that. I put the Oblivion frames in these two guys, and if you look at my Apiarist backpack, I've now got a Queen and 64 of the Unwearies and a Queen and 64 of the Majestics, which I put in here for safekeeping. So as you can see there, I've got the Commons, Cultivated, Diligent, Unweary, Noble and Majestic all in there, ready for later breeding. And we can get on with doing the next level, which will be taking these now onto Industrious and Imperial. So for them I am going to need a Diligent and a Noble. Now I've got a couple of Diligent Princesses, so I don't have to make any of them. What I have done though is I made a new Majestic Princess by using an old, I think it was a common modest hybrid that I had. I made that into the Majestic Princess by putting some Majestic drones in there as we've done before. So that's nice and straightforward. So what we want to do now then is set up our Apiaries again with Oblivion and 2 Metabolics, and in this one we're going to want Diligent and Unweary, so the second and the third bee in that path makes the fourth bee, so Diligent and Unweary in there. And in this side exactly the same, Majestic and Noble, second and the third bees should make us the fourth bees in there. So we'll give this a tick. They've gone through already, and oops, what I didn't do there was turn off the automation. Whoops. That one's off, that one wasn't. Okay, so what we've got there is an Industrious Princess. And where's my BLRs there? So Industrious, Diligent. So we want, I believe, to put that in with an Unweary again. We'll put that in with an Unweary. See what we get. Now I have got a Modest and a Cultivated in my pack there. I'll put to one side for a second. So what's happened in this side then? This side not so good it seems. We have got Majestic Imperial and Majestic Noble, Majestic Imperial. What I'm going to try here then on this side is just go back to my stash of bees here. I want some Nobles, and we'll take some Diligence just for that side, just in case. So this side now then, we'll put the Majestic Imperial back in with a Noble. I think that should give us the best chance of getting a pure Imperial. This side, what have we got? This is looking good. So you can see the frames make a hell of a lot of difference. Industrial Diligent, Industrious Diligent. So see all the ratings blue there, blue. So that means we might end up with a Diligent, because if there was red, that'd indicate it's a dominant. Or I'm not sure. Is it the dominant and recessive, or is it something like that anyway? But, Imperial. Let's see what these are. So that's an Imperial Noble, Majestic Noble, Majestic Noble. What would be the best thing to do with this then? Probably straight up Majestic. The worst that can happen here, of course. Let's try that. Imperial Noble, Majestic Imperial. The worst that could happen, we could end up back with one of the a pure Majestic or something, but that's not the end of the world. We can just start again. Industrious, excellent. Industrious, excellent. Then that's a crossbreed. So there we go. There's our Industrious. They can now go in there. They need to settle out a bit. We can take them frames out of there now, and we can bang some impregnated frames in. start increasing the production, because these give us pollen, which we're after. So that can be turned back on. So that's the end of that path. So these are now production bees, and then hopefully from this side we shall get imperial. There's one, there's two. Excellent. So there we go. We have now got full production bees, industrious and imperial. So what we need to start getting pollen and royal jelly and such like. Let's get 3 frames for that. I need to start making frames now, because we want these to be producing as much as possible. So there we go. That's the end of our path to getting these 2 purebreds, industrious and imperial. So that's the top of them 2 trees. So all we've got to do now is wait until we get a stock of royal jelly. All these can go in here for later melting down into BDNA. We don't need to keep any of these. So I'm saving all them for now. I'm just going to melt all them down one day into DNA. I might actually just get rid of a load of them. The ones that I was keeping, like these, I'll be turning into some other kind of princess at some point. I've got a bit of a stock there. That can go over there as well. I think that's full though. Yeah, it's full. So I should probably make an indexer. Indexer is quite straightforward, but oh, is an indexer not part of? Is an indexer part of extra bees? I thought it was part of. Normal bees. Maybe indexers may be a part of extra bees then, which I reckon we will be getting pretty soon, to be honest. I've seen Binny is on Forgecraft, which is where Direwolf plays the test stuff. Normally, the stuff that came up today was probably recorded possibly Monday, Tuesday. So generally, if they're playing on there, they're generally just testing, make sure the mod works and that. So you normally see a decent build come after they're playing on there, because when they're coding, they generally don't play a lot. And Binny was on there playing, so that's possibly a good sign for extra bees. Yeah, the indexer must be part of extra bees then. Okay, so we'll have to start our bees like this for now. When we get extra bees coming, I'll be doing a couple of extra episodes on that, because that is when we really kick it into overdrive and start getting serums and all stuff like that. Right. The other thing I want to do is, you saw at the end of the normal episode, I made some impregnated casings, and I made get these guys back out. I made a fresh apiary, and there it is. And what we're going to do with this guy is, let's put the Oblivion and 2 of them in there, and let's take one of these with us, and we're going to go to the Nether again. And this time it should go a lot easier than the first time we tried doing this. Let's get down there. My FPS has decided to drop to 10 again, but that shouldn't be an issue as soon as we get out of here. So I need to jump to the treehouse through here, and now we want to be jumping into the Nether. So which Nether we want to go to? We actually want to go through the portal. So let's jump up. Let's get stuck in this door, and jump across here to the Nether portal. When we get through here, I'm just going to break camera and start filming again, see if that'll improve the FPS. It should do. So, back in a sec. Okay, here we are then, and this is where we had this set up before, exactly the same. So, let's stick down an apiary. We want an Oblivion framing. Now, these have a 60% chance of mutating, so if you look at, if you press U on Anybody's Princess, if you've got the NEI extra thing, come on. You worked earlier, why are you not working now? No, it's really not having it. Okay, well, trust me, it's a 60% chance. So these give 80%, which is going to be over 45. It's going to get us over 100%, so we need one of these. So, Modest Princess, cultivated drone, with one of these metabolic frames. It's going to die in one tick because of that. Everything's correct for it. Should give us a Sinister. Come on. I should have actually brought some more. Oh, I've got some in there. That's cool. Sinister. There we go, modest and cultivated, 60% chance. So that just shows that. And then from there, we can put it in with a cultivated with a 40% chance to get a fiendish, which is what we're after. And then I believe it's a fiendish and a sinister together. Gives us the awesome demonic. It is 25% chance. So we should be able to get all three of these done relatively easy. So there we go, sinister, sinister. That's worked. That's the wrong thing. Let's make sure they're pure, which they clearly look to be because we've got over 100% chance. Wonderful. When we put these back in, see they've got the aggressive effect. These want nether flowers, so the modest wanted the cactus, whereas these will want the nether wart, and these are going to damage me when I put them in. So I've got to be careful here. So I'm going to use one of these cultivateds. 40% chance times 80 is an extra 70. So I'm going to use both here then. So sinister, cultivated. You'll see I'll start taking damage as soon as they become producing. I'll start taking damage. Ouch. And more ouch. So we'll just go over here and wait for a bit. Need some elevator music while we wait. Dun, 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 dun. Now what do that? And we should see them little bee animations stop when they die. I believe. Yeah. I heard you. So little bee animations have gone, so we should have now is, there we go, fiendish, two fiendish, so now a fiendish and a sinister together should get us demonic, so it's much easier using aids. Now of course if you've just got vanilla forestry, if you don't have extra bees or farm with bees, I don't think I'd do bees. I'm being honest there. I think I wouldn't even do bees if I had no way of making it a bit easier. Some people like to just keep cycling bees through tediously, I think. Because obviously you'd have no oblivion frame either, so you have to wait for each cycle, and chance isn't that great. So we're not guaranteed the chance with this, but we might get lucky. We'll see. Look, we've got demonic princess and only fiendish drunk. Because obviously 25% times 8% of that makes it to 45. 8% of that takes it to 70 odd, 65, 70 odd. So we've got a pure demonic there. That's good. Fiendish sinister. Fiendish demonic. What should we do here then? Now that could turn that back. Tricky. We'll try it with that. Because fiendish is the dominant there, it could start turning this back into a fiendish. It's the best I can do really, isn't it? Let's try that and see if we get fiendish demonic. Now of course, again without extra bees, if we was going to run these as production bees, look at that, set me on fire, the bastard. So that actually has flammable. Alright, relax. Burn for a long time, don't you? So of course we don't have acclimatizer. Christ, how long am I going to burn for? If we get down to about 3 hours, I'm going to run away. Well, that's bizarre. Oh, I've stopped. No, I haven't. No! Wild! Crazy stuff, crazy stuff. I'm going to sleep so it's daytime again. If I knew that was going to happen, I'd have got away a lot sooner. I did not know I would have just kept burning like that. Oh well. Let's see if I can even get out of my own base. Have I made it really hard work? I'm not going through the... I'm not going to go through the, what do you call it there? The maze. I should have had a bucket out when as soon as I started burning then, really. Oh well, so I'll get my stuff back and we'll see what the result of that breeding attempt was. Okay, so let's see what that gave us. It gave us, it looks like pure demonics. Awesome. So that looked like it worked. Demonic. So they look the same. So that was the flammable. There, you see, that's what got me then. So because again we ain't got extra bees and stuff, we can't really change these reliably. You could change them by breeding, but it's going to take a hell of a long time. So for now, I'm just going to put them to one side. I could set up an automated production in here, and it'll start getting me some stuff. I probably should do that. It's chunk loaded anyway, and it's not going to be too much hassle to set it up. So I'll probably, yeah, in fact, I probably will. I'll set this up automated in here, and we'll run some demonic bees. Start getting some phosphate, which we'll start using for larvae. And then once we've got extra bees, we can start pulling the serums out of these, because we'll have a stock of them as well. And we can start producing safe ones of these. So with extra bees, of course, you can make it so that give them the longest lifespan if we do the ancient line, fastest speed, something real noisy outside, get rid of the flowers need so we can have them outside of the nether. We can, using an acclimatizer, we can raise these tolerances. So currently it's got a humidity tolerance of down to, well, we can make that plus or minus 5 with an acclimatizer and a shitload of blaze powder. And the hellish bit, we can make that. So now it'll go hellish, hot, warm. So it won't work in normal. Whereas making that to 3 would work in normal. Doing plus minus 5 can make it so that these could actually work in a wintry, in a cold zone. So we also want plus minus 2 on there, so that can be done with serums as well. So until really, and of course you can get rid of the effects. And you can manipulate if you want to get babies or not. Extra drones, babies, you know. So for now, I'm going to stick them in there and run away, and that's it for this episode. And off camera, I am going to... off camera, I'm going to set it up so that... In fact, I can go that way. That's Tom's house, there's my house. I'll move them away from there because I don't want to ambush anyone coming through there. Off camera, I'm going to start setting up automated seed oil production, which I'll be doing in the next main episode because that's part of general stuff, and then we'll work out how to use that for automated frame manufacture. So, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Cheers, bye. A little bit extra just before we go. There we go. There's pollen, and there's royal jelly. And you see what these go into. Well, we need these. Royal jelly is important for a couple of things. Ambrose is pretty nice, it gives you regen. Good for fighting withers if your armor's not that good. The 2 main things we're going to be using this for is... Where is it? Shapes crafting. Where's the serums? Oh, we ain't got serums yet. Extra bees making the serums, same as use royal jelly. And vanilla forestry, making these scented panellings. You need 8 scented panellings around each of them scented impregnated frames to make an alveary block. So we need 27 times 8, 200 and odd scented panellings per alveary. So that uses 1 pollen, 1 royal jelly, 2 beeswax and some wood. So you see there, we need to get we need to get a couple of 100 each of these, and then we can start making our first alveary. And of course, yeah, once we've got extra bees, these royal jelly is used for making the actual empty serum vials as well, which we'll also need. Okay, I'm gone. Cheers. Bye.